Have you ever heard somebody say, well, that's like Timbuktu? Well, this expression is because Timbuktu is really far away. And that's a place in the country that I've selected to explain to you, Mali. Mali, West Africa. So right now we're going to discuss it really briefly, and we're going to learn where Mali is. We're going to learn what kind of makes it special, or what would be inviting to each of us, and what is there that we would, what they're like as a people. I've done some research in some books, as well as talked to a Malian native, and so I have probably the most information that you're ever going to get in relation to this country. And our goal at the end of this is for everyone to have a little bit of information and knowledge about Mali, and be able to talk to a Malian if you met one and express interest in their culture. So where do we start? Well, it's important to know where Mali is. Most people don't know where that country is. It's in West Africa, on the southern tip of the Sahara Desert. If you were to find Mali, you would find that it has a very different culture. Explains Dorothea Schultz, who wrote the book Culture and Customs of Mali. She said that Mali has long been the crossroads of exchange routes between North and Western Africa. And that's between the African rainforest and the Middle Eastern countries in the northern parts of Africa, as well as above. So really, Mali was a very important exchange route through the Sahara Desert for many years. Mali has long been that crossroad. The capital of Mali is Bamako. Mali is 95% Muslim country. And the traditional language in Mali is Bambara, which is a bush language. Many people don't know of it, but the national language that's accepted there is French. Now, what would exactly interest you as an individual about Mali? Well, as we mentioned in the outset, there is the city Timbuktu, which is a huge cultural center for the world now, especially for Europeans. Many of them escape there. It's literally one of the furthest places that you could go to on this planet, and it's very interesting. The Malians typically eat food from West Africa, whether Nigerian or Ghanaian food, or Lebanese foods. And so you'll find a lot of special foods like the salt fish, which is dried because Mali is a landlocked country. So they have to dry the fish in salt and then ship it in, so that people who are in the landlocked area of Mali who don't have refrigeration can have fresh fish once they cook it and reintroduce the liquids to the fish. As well as fufu, which is yam that is pounded for a long period of time until it becomes a sort of doughy mixture, and is then eaten with soups. Now, also, you'll find an interesting culture called the Tuaregs there, who are a nomadic people. And as mentioned by Etegel Blauer in her book Mali on page 104, the Tuareg are excellent leather craftsmen, and they do a lot of crafts from camels as well as sheepskin. Very intricate, well-desired crafts. But what is a Malian like? What would it be like to wake up in a day in Mali? Well, Malians are very clean, they're cleanly, they're well-shaven, and they're polite. And you would probably have a nice time there. Although the country is very poor, they have a very happy and responsive nature. And they have a very detailed introduction in the morning, where many times they'll introduce, everyone that they meet, they have to introduce and go through a morning routine of talking with them. So just to review what we've done and what we've reviewed tonight, we learned that Mali was once a cultural center for the North African and West African world. We also have learned that Mali has many interesting foods and places that would be fun to visit, as well as that Malians are very nice, well-met people. So maybe we can consider going to Mali again one day in the future. And especially if we want to visit a place that we certainly know will be beyond the reaches of anything we've ever been before, like Timbuktu. Thank you.